Relationships are hard. There's the compromise, the for better or for worse thing, the toilet seat left up, or the makeup smudges on the mirror. Now imagine having millions of people watching your every move, taking pictures of those moves, and being treated like a celebrity because, well, you're a celebrity. I'm sure it would be easier to deal with a raised toilet seat lid if it's located in one of the 6 bathrooms in your mansion, but staying together is hard, famous or not. Yet these famous couples have managed to keep things together for years, and not just the cameras. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. They first met on the set of Bosom Buddies and tied the knot in 1988. In an interview that makes you both roll your eyes and feel a little bit jealous, Hanks has said, "The only thing we ever argue about is who loves each other more." Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. After meeting and hitting it off in 1991, the actors married in 1997. The secret is, we don't discuss it to reporters or anybody else. That's it. Parker said. We don't hold it up as an example and we don't air our dirty laundry. Amy Adams and Darren Gallo. After 14 years of dating and 7 years of being engaged, they finally tied the knot in May 2015. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. The daytime TV hostess has been with actress de Rossi since 2004 and they married in 2008. Portia, an actress in her own right, had been a staple on Ellen's show, and never shied away from showing off her dance moves with her doting partner, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. These two have been getting jiggy with it since they started dating in 1994 after meeting on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They married in 1997. What does Will think is the secret? If there is a secret, I would say is that we never went into working in our relationship, he said. We only ever worked on ourselves individually, and then presented ourselves to one another better than we were previously. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. These two prove if you like it you don't have to put a ring on it, as they've been together since 1983. Yet they've never married, leading many to wonder about the nature of their relationship. A lasting relationship isn't about marriage, Hawn said. It's about compatibility and communication. And you both need to want it to work. Denzel and Pauletta Washington. They've been together since 1977, but Denzel had to propose to his wife 3 times before she finally agreed to marry him in 1983. Since then, she's been with him during his meteoric rise to fame. The big payoff? She got a shout out in the Oscars from her husband. That must have been pretty sweet. Maggie Gyllenhaal and Peter Sarsgaard. They met in 2002, got married in 2009, and have 2 children together. They represented a new generation of actors, having both starred in prestige fare. It's a safe bet that if their kids decide to make the leap to Hollywood, they've got the genes and the lineage to get cast. Seth Rogen and Lauren Miller. These two have been together since 2004, got engaged in 2011, and married just a year later. They've truly been through a lot, including Lauren's mother battling Alzheimer's, and have formed Hilarity for charity to help support the cause. What they lack in time spent together they more than make up for with affection, as Rogen speaks about her dotingly even though she isn't quite the red carpet fixture he is. Meryl Streep and Don Gummer. After her partner John Cazale died in 1978, Streep met artist Gummer and went on to marry him later that year. Now they've got a new name in the biz as their daughter Grace Gummer has been stealing scenes in TV shows recently. You may have caught her in Mr. Robot as a forlorn FBI agent. Hugh Jackman and Deborra-Lee Furness. A year after they met, this couple said, "I do," in 1996. Hugh Jackman has made millions of fans by showing off his body and his sweet singing and dancing, but his eye has never strayed, despite fawning females all around him. His secret? You love each other, and respect each other. You truly want to be together. Tina Turner and Erwin Bach. What's love got to do with it? Everything, as Erwin had been Tina's longtime boyfriend since the mid-1980s before they got married in 2013. That's a long time to court, but as you'll see with many other celebs on this list, relationship doesn't have to mean marriage. Call it non-traditional, but these couples' love is time-tested. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall. The actress and director-producer got married in 1987 and the couple have two sons, Henry, 21, and Charles, 16. They met as stars on SNL back in the early 80s, but Julia has continued to make a bigger and bigger name for herself with fare such as Seinfeld and Veep. Who knows what the future holds for these two comedic peas in a pod? David Bowie and Iman. Sadly, David Bowie just recently passed away, but he and Iman were married since 1992. It was love at first sight for musician Bowie, but not so much for model Iman. For him, it was overwhelming. Iman said, "I was not ready for a relationship. Definitely, I didn't want to get into a relationship with somebody like him. But as I always said, I fell in love with David Jones. I did not fall in love with David Bowie. Bowie is just a persona. He's a singer, an entertainer. David Jones is a man I met." Jerry and Jessica Seinfeld. The couple has been married since 1999. How did she win him over? Chicken parmesan. "It's why Jerry wanted to marry me," she said. "It remains the glue of our family. Even if they didn't have that chicken, something tells me they'd be okay." He caught a lot of flack for dating around during his heyday, but since then, it's been clear that their love is the real deal. Oh, that chicken recipe netted her a cookbook deal, too. Colin Firth and Livia Giugioli. The 1996 TV miniseries Nostromo brought them together, and they exchanged vows in 1997. Was she the secret to Colin's success? We'll never know for sure, but given the timing of their wedding and his stratospheric rise to the global list, all the signs point to yes. I wonder how that makes Bridget Jones feel. Michael J. Fox and Tracy Pollan. They met when Tracy played Michael's first love interest on Family Ties and made it official in 1988. It's hard, but you just have to have the perspective that you're behind each other's back, she said, and it helps if you can make each other laugh. Tracy's been a presence by Michael's side at virtually all his public appearances, be they awards shows or benefits for his immense charitable endeavors. It's clear they've found a love that works within the callings of their busy lives. Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher. The two met in 2002 but waited 8 years to get married, maybe because the Borat star never made life easy. It's definitely not a normal relationship. Fisher said, "You know, there have been times in the past with the guerrilla-style filmmaking of Borat and Bruno where there were surreal conversations. How many people are suing us? Are you wanted in any states? Are you alive?" Now that Cohen isn't quite so much the pop culture fixture, things have certainly died down for them on that front, but I'm guessing that weird spark is still vital to their relationship. Elizabeth Banks and Max Handelman. These two were college sweethearts before they got married in 2003. The two now own Brownstone Productions together, the company responsible for Pitch Perfect and its sequel. She's not only gone on to become a director under the couple's production banner but remains outspoken on a number of social issues as well. No doubt Max has her back there, too. Viola Davis and Julius Tenen. The two met in the early 2000s after Viola prayed for the right man to come into her life. Whether that did it or not, they married in 2003. Since then, we've seen a lot more of him. That's largely due to Viola's increased public presence and the frequency with which she appears at awards shows. Like any self-respecting A-list couple, they've got a production company together as well. Rachel Zoe and Rodger Berman. Married since 1996, these business partners run Rachel Zoe, Inc. and Zoe Media Group and a house with 2 young kids. She might not be an actress, but she's definitely a big TV personality thanks to the Rachel Zoe project on Bravo. The show, which followed her exploits as a fashionista, made her a big name in reality while helping her day job. Sting and Trudy Styler. After connecting in 1982, they waited 10 years to tie the knot. The singer believes that friendship has been a key factor behind their long-standing marriage. Also helping matters, certainly, is the fact that Sting's been open about the couple's tantric sex endeavors, which no doubt put a spark in any relationship. We should all be so lucky at their age. Bryan Cranston and Robin Deardon. This Breaking Bad star and his wife got married in 1989, and Cranston said therapy is an important part of their success. I see a therapist in LA from time to time when I'm feeling edgy or anxiety-ridden, he said. And my wife and I go to a couples therapist. Our agreement is, if either of us feels like we want to go, the other can't object. If only Walter and Skyler from Breaking Bad had taken the same advice, things perhaps would have worked out a little better for the two of them. Tina Fey and Jeff Richmond. Richmond, a composer on 30 Rock, and funny woman Fey met at Chicago's Second City and dated for 7 years before marrying in a Greek Orthodox ceremony in 2001. While Tina exists in front of the camera as a comedic actress, Jeff works alongside her on many shows, serving as a composer and soundtrack consultant for the likes of 30 Rock and the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Kirk Douglas and Ann Bidens. These two have been married since 1954, which is longer than most people in Hollywood have been alive. How has it lasted so long? That's easy. Douglas said. I just told my wife, if you ever leave me, I'm going with you. They're an adorable couple that has weathered the temptations of Hollywood sin and gluttony better than anyone else. Now, they've got an enormous, famous family living on, as well as all sorts of professional acclaim from their celebrity. Joel McHale and Sarah Williams. You have to choose your spouse every day, McHale said about his marriage to Williams since 1996. Tell yourself that this is the person that I love and want to be with. It has to be something that you do consciously, then it becomes subconscious. That's a surprisingly candid statement for a guy known more for his comedic exploits than his romance or drama acumen. I guess Sarah brings out a softer side of the guy. Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. Sharon was just 18 years old when she met the Black Sabbath singer and eventually replaced her dad as Ozzy's manager. The pair married in 1982, and needless to say, have been through better or worse between his drug relapses and her battles with colon cancer and a double mastectomy. The world has watched them part and come back together, just like that stereotypical couple we all know can't call it off. Matt and Luciana Damon. Married in 2004, Damon doesn't feel qualified to give advice on marriage. I think marriage is insane, he said. It's a crazy idea, but I love being married to my wife. So I wouldn't tell anybody else anything about their relationship. Clearly, Mr. Damon doesn't think marriage is that insane if it's working out for him. If you wanted proof that love can make people do a big heel turn, here it is. Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance. They first met in 1980 but stayed as just friends, until finally adding that whole with benefits part in 1997. Deeply religious, Vance has said, I've learned that the Lord is first and that my wife is the most important thing on this earth. The decisions in our marriage aren't easier, but they are clearer because of our relationship with God. Their spirituality is clearly a big factor underlying the obvious romance between the two. David and Victoria Beckham. These two met in 1997, spiced it up and tied the knot in 1999, and have 4 children together. My husband constantly inspires me and guides me, he has done so much good work, I look up to him and have the utmost respect and admiration for all that he has achieved, Victoria said. Goal. The fact that these two have been able to make it work despite being the biggest celebs in the world should give hope to the rest of us. Lisa Kudrow and Michelle Stern. The actress knew the French advertising executive 6 years before their marriage in 1995. We respect each other's independence, and I don't mean that as a euphemism, she said. I don't like to travel. So if he wants to go on a golf trip, he goes. I think people get in trouble when they assume they're supposed to be one unit, in sync about everything. Marriage is like being on a team. Each teammate is different, but you have the same goal. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. married in 2002, Gellar acknowledges that marriage is work. You have to work at anything, she said. It's any relationship in your life. You have to nurture it and take time with it. Something hints at the fact that it's not all work with these two. They got hitched young and have turned into grown-up parents. Something fun has to keep that behavior going. Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick. These two crazy kids got married in 1988 and, on their 27th anniversary in 2015, Bacon took to Instagram to post, celebrating 9,855 days of marriage to Kyra Sedgwick, along with a photo of Kyra sitting on a park bench. I know. Cloyingly sweet. But counting the days doesn't seem quite as tedious when you're thinking back on all the awesomeness you've shared with someone. Cindy Crawford and Rand Gerber. The supermodel and businessman married in 1998, 3 years after her divorce from Richard Gere. The key? Friendship. Being rooted and based in friendship, it keeps the relationship elevated, she said. There's always a certain level of respect. We respect each other's opinion about parenting and our personal life, but also for work stuff. We really listen to each other. I would want that friendship in my life no matter what. Elton John and David Furnish. The singer and his partner became an item in 1993. In 2005, they entered a civil partnership recognized by England, and they are parents to Zachary, 4, and Elijah, 2, who share the same surrogate mother. The two remain active in social and medical charities now that Elton has ramped down his touring and partying schedule. Most notably, they're the brain trust behind Elton's eponymous AIDS Foundation. Mark Wahlberg and Rhea Durham. These two married in 2009, and the actor has said the key to keeping his funky bunch together is, spend quality time together. Really, that's what matters. With his work schedule, it's hard to imagine he has much time for anyone. Perhaps that's why private jets and cars are so important to celebs, they bring them back to their loved ones in a hurry. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Queen Bee has said their relationship started in either 1999 or 2000 when she was just 19, but they took their time and didn't get married until 2008. Because, wait for it, Jay-Z liked it so he put a ring on it. Though there have been all sorts of rumors surrounding the two, they've got 3 kids and seem to be doing just fine, haters be damned. I guess having charmed lives can help weather the publicity storm. Steve and Nancy Carell. The hilarious pair met when Nancy took Steve's improv class in the Second City comedy troupe in Chicago and married in 1995. They also have appeared together in a number of projects, but most notably The Daily Show, where they both made the leap. I thought she hated me because she was very quiet around me, he said. I thought she for sure knew that I was full of it, and I later found out that she was just as nervous as I was and trying to act cool. Julia Roberts and Danny Moder. This pretty woman met the cameraman on the set of The Mexican in 2000, and they made it official in 2002. They have 3 kids together, and Roberts has said he is her safe place. Julia isn't quite America's sweetheart anymore, but something tells me she's happy to retire that designation to spend more time with the love of her life. Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham. And you get a ring. And you get a ring. Okay, maybe not a ring, but this couple has been together more than 30 years and were engaged in 1992 after being together for 6 years. Why no wedding? I don't want to be married because I could not have the life that I created for myself, she said. Text and photos taken from 22 words. Thanks for watching.